Nova Scotia's EMO asked to use the hall as a registration centre for residents of Portapique who had fled their homes. An RCMP officer was posted here in a cruiser. By this time, police were on the hunt for the shooter, who they knew was impersonating a police officer. At 10:30 a.m., 2 RCMP officers fired multiple shots outside the hall. Sources have told CTV News the officers thought they were firing at the suspect when it was in fact a fellow Mountie.
This program is brought to you in part by...
Why don't you get yourself some turned-down collars, Poirot? They're much more the thing, you know.
The thing, Hastings? Do you think Poirot concerns himself with mere thingness?
No. No, I see that.
The turned-down collar is the first symptom of decay of the grey cells.
You know, I just think if people keep pushing, I can't, first of all, thank enough all of the hard work. There's 3 fellow YouTubers who are working very, very hard with me on this one. Rage in the Cage, Steve LTT, and Just My Stupid Opinion. Just plugging them, sorry. But they are fantastic guys, really been busting their humps here. And, you know, stepping up to the plate, because there's a certain amount of risk saying certain things. And also, likewise, all of the people who are volunteering information and time, which is, like I said, over on the Discord or sending me anonymously information, it is fantastic.
Evening. Yes, evening down there, of course. What am I saying? quarter to 11 down on the East Coast. How's everybody doing tonight? Nick Lou, none of your business. Beth, Glenn B, Crispy Bacon, Crispy, how's it going, Crispy? I'm getting hungry. Tara, our good friend Tara, how's it going? Dear old Tara. Green Bastard, Point Fire. Wow, got lots of you in here tonight. Super. Okay, so I wanted to just run through a couple more things, thinking about the tapes, working through the tapes. I've had a lot of questions regarding the tapes. I don't know if you guys have had any more since the last broadcasts, or hey Cindy, Jill, the Mornon. I don't know if I know how to pronounce that. Cindy Vash, Indiana. Right on. Welcome, Indiana. Damn. In the house. Aaron. Okay, so wow. Thanks ever so much for joining me. Of course, I'm always just last minute notice, don't you know? Bad hair day, by the way, but this is in honor of a certain one of you. I know you like Ford, so it's also to just simply disrespect Steve. On that note, sad day, because Nova Scotia citizen. Anybody else having phone issues? I have major phone issues, Dan. So just to let you know, lots of technical issues one day. Those will all be fun to run through with everybody. Quite eye-opening for a lot of people, I think. Even for me, I've been quite enthralled with all the fun that goes on. Steve L. Double T. Now, that's the sad note. I haven't got a chance to call him back. Please go and subscribe to Steve's channel. Do you want to throw the link out there? I guess I probably got to give you a ranch, don't I? There we go. I'm presuming it's you, right? If it's not you and you cause trash in here, you're getting the boot. Now, Steve got his channel taken down today, permanently. So, please, if you want to throw out your new channel link, I'll update the stuff down below. Everybody can always send stuff. Tips appreciated all the time. And you know why we're doing this, right? We're doing it for the families. Cans in here, and I'm sure there's a couple of others. My parents built the house the Bonds were murdered in. We had it for 15 years. I'm so terribly sorry to hear that, Cindy. You know, this stuff really hits close to home, isn't it? I hate your Ford. Well, that's fine. You haven't even seen my Ford yet, dude. How do you know I only have one? How do you know I have any? Maybe I have none. There you go. All right, so please subscribe to Steve's channel. Let's support him. Yes, he talks about other things, not just Nova Scotia stuff. But okay, all Fords are horrible. Glenn, you're going to get the boot here shortly. Yeah. No, I'm just teasing you. Found on roadside dead. Is that what somebody's going to tell me? Pissing oil. Oh no. Steve's channel, we need to support him because he does really hard work, and hell, he has to listen to me, which I'll tell you. You know, you guys think you have it bad. Oof. Poor Steve. Poor Tara. Poor everybody that has to talk to me on the phone. Anyway. So, questions regarding tapes. Please go subscribe, though. 78 F-150. Nice. Bigfoot prepper. Hello, Bigfoot. Met Bigfoot the other night. Did a little podcast with Rage in the Cage and met Bigfoot. Very good. Nice. Very nice couple. Okay. Do not know really what to say in that podcast, but yeah, it was informative. I'm not the best prepper, but I'll learn one day, I'm sure. I've got a few things. Now, of course, my mind all over the map. Questions regarding tapes. And I'd like to hear your feedback too, so please pop that in there. Regarding tapes, regarding other things going on, there clearly is a little bit more going on than we all know. And I think we can all get into that at one point in time. But the tapes, on a simplistic issue, have certain problems, and I had certain problems with the tapes. Now, in conversating with Julie, she had a couple of questions about them too. I think hers are probably a little bit more well guided and, you know, maybe not as opinionated as mine. Mine are fairly opinionated by this point in time, but she informed me about, so I'll be totally candid. I haven't listened to all of the tapes. I just simply have not. As soon as the tapes came about, something inside of me, which I just kind of generally listen to, gave me a lot of doubt. And I asked a few questions. I didn't necessarily like some of the answers I heard about them. And then, but I kept, you know, just asking around different people, different thoughts that they had, different statements that were said in them. So I have a fairly good impression of them. But again, I have to be totally candid and say I have not listened to them all. That would be not truthful if I said that. Now, we have many different versions of the tapes. I, in fact, have, I think, 5 versions of tapes, of the Picto tapes. Very interesting how there's so many different versions of tapes. So I overlaid a copy, 4 copies of tapes. Let's see here. How's the best way to do this? Why don't we start with this? So Share screen, share audio. Hopefully I will not have any technical issues. Everybody can let me know. So go away, whatever that is. These are 2 sets of tapes. So up here I have P, April 18th, 11:03 to 11:33, and this is 10:58 to 11:28. This is the original Colchester tape. Okay. I don't know. Hopefully I can explain this well. And this is the Picto tape. Okay. Everybody following along? I mentioned the other night that the Colchester tapes had gotten deleted, which I found rather curious. Why would you delete the there was a lot of interesting things in there, which of course CBC never really got to anything good in the tapes. I mean, they kind of had helicopters flying around and that kind of stuff, but they never answered, certain things like about, I don't know, guns being left in the woods and cars on the side of the road abandoned and people shot in the foot. They never answered or asked anything about those things, but they did have, they did put it out on the air. And then I never had a copy I never obviously listened to the originals. I like the black F91 F250 in black. Okay, nice. I didn't obviously listen to the original tapes. I did get subsequent copies. Thank you very much to Julie for that. Quite soon after, and then and started to put together the tapes on my own. I've had them out. Those of you who were with me early in the channel, I had some of the tapes out, but it was quite time intensive to cut them down because I had to put it in minute by minute to label it. I couldn't just have a running clock. Technical thing, and I'm not technical. So there you go. Not like certain people, very technical people. So I did happen to get those tapes, and I listened to those tapes, and like I said, nothing was really addressed in the media about it. But what, funnily enough, happened was when these dream happened. I think it was a dream in Ontario, or somehow Southern Ontario happened. And then somebody remembered it 9 months later, and it was the most popular channel, beat out, I don't know, what was it, Chicago and Detroit, I think was what I heard. It was the most popular channel, even though I've never seen it before in any of the discussions on Facebook from the 18th and 19th. There was never any mention of them. But needless to say, for something that's so popular in Chicago and Detroit, I would think on Broadcastify, pretty popular. Anyway, did see lots of Colchester mentions. When the new tapes surfaced recently, within the last month, I think I became aware of them about a month ago, maybe a little less than that. 26th. Okay. And no, it wouldn't be that long. Over 3 weeks ago. Definitely. But it was before they came out publicly. And I went back and I noticed that the Colchester tapes had been removed. You could only go back as far as May. So I thought to myself, well, that's odd, because you're leaving the one that has, quote unquote, all the shiny stuff. I look at these tapes as kind of a shiny lure in murky waters. Frankly, all that they basically do, from my understanding, please correct me if I'm wrong, is paint the same narrative that we've heard all along, that the RCMP really just had a bad day and lots of people sadly perished. But it was totally mistaken. Oh, that's not going to ring, is it? Okay, I don't know. It's glowing for some reason. Hi, RCMP. How you doing? But they didn't remove the meat and potatoes. They used the channel, the analog channel out of Picto, Patty McCallum's channel out of Picto, but they didn't delete it. But they did delete the one that had just basically EHS calls and fire calls. Fire calls, I've never actually heard the fire calls on there yet, but anyway. So I found that odd. I found that very odd. Why would you delete them? I find it odd that the RCMP used the channel, the analog channel, which apparently was because the digital channel doesn't work very well in Picto, or sorry, down in Portapic, because they only used it for 3 hours. They only used it from 1 until 4 or thereabouts. Correct me if I'm wrong, please. So that's 1 till 4. So I guess before 1, some kind of channel was working. And then at 1 o'clock, there was a problem. I'm being really facetious here, right? 1 o'clock, there was a problem. And then at 4 o'clock, that problem was fixed. Because, well, then they didn't have to use the Picto EHS analog civilian channel anymore. Kind of strange, isn't it? Now, let's back up here. I've got to offset. Did I do this right? So that seemed kind of strange. Seemed kind of strange, people having dreams. Kind of strange that they're leaving them up. Lots of strange things happening. Now, did I get this lined up correctly? Now, I can prove what I'm talking about because I still have the video on my channel, and I'll show you that, and you guys can actually, I will link it. I still have the original recording. I believe I took a screenshot of it. So if it does happen to go poof, we can still go back and find it here. Let's go over there first, and I'll get the link for it. I don't know what they're trying to push on us today. Ha 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 something. Okay. Now, great stream that we had last time. We had a good conversation when it was done too. Uploads. No, I want this one. Okay, so this was the original. I'll just put it up here. I'll throw the link in. It's unlisted. I keep a lot of things unlisted. Anybody that wants to go and download it, please don't critique my awesomeness. There it is. But as you can see, I premiered this July 11th. I just took it down after a period of time. And, you know, it's got 472 views. It's been around for a while. But this is where the comment I wanted to make was about. So this is the original tape, which I haven't made anything with. Let's have a listen here. I think I've got it queued up properly. Please let me know if the audio is okay. No, that's the best way to do this is like this.
Okay. Go ahead, Jeff. Do we know if these cut the ceiling? No, not for sure. It's taking quite a ways, the actual house. They're bringing the victims out to that intersection from the actual scene, but no, they don't know if they've caught him. I don't know.
All right, gentlemen.
But you understood just where you're in ALS, I'd like to keep you there.
Now, a couple of things I wanted to point out before I continue. So these are direct audio overlays. I've just lined them up. But there are a couple of differences. One is right there. You can actually see it right here, if you see this one. Okay. This, have I got my unmuted? Okay, good. Hey, Michael, how's it going? There's also no police sticker on the garage picture on the trunk in Millbrook. There's talk, Facebook sites, Wortman having 2 marked cars. I heard something about a second car for a long time, but I have no verification of that. Right here, okay?
Code 90.
So we have code 90. What does the person in the Colchester tape respond?
Go ahead, Jeff.
Go ahead, Jeff. Hopefully that's not echoing because I didn't mute my mic. So right here it says, go ahead, Jeff. That piece is edited out of the Picto tape. Now, why is the Picto tape and the Colchester tapes the same? Because they're different channels. Kind of strange. But it isn't just that, you know, they carry on for quite a while. So let's have some more listen. There's also one other difference.
Go ahead, Jeff. Do we know if they've cut the ceiling? No, not for sure. It's taking quite a ways, the actual house. They're bringing the victims out to that intersection from the actual scene, but no, they don't know if they've caught him. I don't know.
All right, gentlemen.
But you understood just where you're in ALS, I'd like to keep you there in case they find one. But if you do need to stay with that patient, let me know, and I'll just hold 60 either way.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
Off, Colchester.
102, copy.
I'm at 86.
86, go.
We're just switching over to the hospital for a bit.
Copy, thank you. George Turo, please.
Okay, so that's one. There's a mention of Colchester. So what I'll do is I'll bring up 4 different recordings side by side. How's that? Does that sound good? No echoes? Oh, and I didn't, did I mute myself? I don't even know. So please feel free to go download that video and then maybe you'll understand. Have a look at it all you want because it was up there for a long time. Nobody had to Picto recordings to the best of my knowledge, these, except for somebody who had a dream. I don't know. Possibly their name is Jessica Davis. No, I don't want to save. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Steve, have you got any new subscribers? Yeah, why don't we just save this as, I don't know. tape lineup. Who knows? I hate all this computer junk. I'm going to be real happy to what? Oh, yes, I do. Okay. Now, I may have not got this quite right now, because I backed it up when I was talking on the phone with Julie. Okay, so in the so it's not labeled here in the bottom right hand side of the screen right here where the yellow pointer thingy is. This one is the actual Picto recording. Okay, wherever, if I click on that, that's this one here. I don't know why it's not showing up. That's weird. Oh, no, it shouldn't. Why is this not showing up? That's strange. This is the Frank recording, okay, which is on the Facebook. So if you go to Facebook, his recording is here. This is the deleted Indo Blue video. He took it down and then he kind of altered it, and there were some changes that were made, and he put it up the next day. And this is the Colchester tape that I made back in July. So please excuse, some of it's obviously going to be other stuff going on, as in Magnus will do to lanyar tapes. Evening, no notification. Hey, Mark, how's it going? So please excuse if there's other babble going on. Like, that's why I want here, you know, these.
Behind you, PCP, if they can take the patient, they say there's more patients in there. I mean,
that's why you're hearing all kinds of different stuff, because they're different channels going on at the same time. Like, this is 4 audio tracks all laid together, if you're following what I'm saying. But they'll, funnily enough, sync up, which is kind of interesting because they shouldn't.
You gotta head a little closer to the scene there. Take it, if it's not, call 60 up so they can take that out, please. You gotta head a little closer to the scene there. Thank you.
Alrighty.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Do we know if they've caught the assailant?
No, not for sure. It's in quite a ways, the actual house. They're bringing the victims out to that intersection from the actual scene. But no, they don't know if they've caught them. I don't know.
Alright, sir.
But you understood just where your ALS, I'd like to keep you there in case they find one. But if you do need to stay with that patient, let me know, and I'll just hold 60 either way.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
Okay, so that was the other point I wanted to make, was right there. He said Colchester. Okay, so that was in the Colchester tapes, but of course removed in the Picto tapes, because it wouldn't make very much sense to say off to Colchester if you're in Picto. You following me? But they totally line up. And then we'll continue from there. Well, we'll go back a little bit because I don't want anybody ever thinking I'm playing hokey games with anybody. Google Earth shows more than just a barn. I don't know what you're speaking of. I'm sorry. Sorry, I wish I could follow things closely. I have a hard enough time trying to remember my name.
All right, sir.
If you understood just where your ALS, I'd like to keep you there in case they find one. But if you do need to stay with that patient, let me know, and I'll just hold 60 either way.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you. 102 on the court. 102, copy.
I'm gonna gate 6. I'm gonna gate 6.
86, go. 86, go.
We're just switching over to the hospital for a bit.
We're just switching over to the hospital for a bit. Thank you. Copy, thank you. Return to Turo, please. Much shorter intervals there in case you need clarification.
And we have a patient on board. We're just coming up to we're 60. I'm gonna gate 6. To do a quick assessment.
86, go.
Looks like it's just shot from the incident. She has no injury. We're just switching over to the hospital for a bit. It looks like it'll be a transport.
Copy, thank you. Medic 60. Okay, thanks, Tim. I'll see you.
So I can continue from there. Now, what I was thinking, and in discussing with Julie, I think would be really great is if people got all the different versions together, had a look at the transcripts, keyword search the transcripts. I think we're going to find that there are similarities, possibly more than what is there. Julie noticed for sure. There's also some, of course, because she's so picks up on things so well. Now, there's also, what was I going to say? So the transcripts, keyword search that. I would download all of the copies. Let's go. So you can tell, just so I'm not, shitting you, that here's the Frank Facebook post right here. Okay. Yes, this is, I have 7,000 pages always open at any time and 50 million windows. Now, don't laugh at me, please. This post was made January 7th, 1242, which is kind of interesting because it says that it's actually 1250 something or other. And I was worried that they had altered it, but no, they have not. So let's have a listen, and you can actually hear, once again, these are the audio referred to in Paul Palango's story, Inside the Chaos, over 3 hours, radio chatter from Picto. You can hear exactly what he was saying. Do you know if they got the guy on the inside there? Okay. It'll come up. Give it a minute or two. It's got some hokey music at the beginning of it. I think I know where that's coming from. I think we all probably do. Bad choice in music, sir.
What's 6?
Hey there, just have any more details on the Portabec call?
Nada. Just police had reports of somebody shot in the backpack. That's it.
Copy that. I'm gonna head towards Truro there just in case.
Yeah, no problem. I just wait for officers to get on scene. Life flight can't fly. We can come up by ground and meet them in Truro. It's the best we can do right now.
Copy, thank you. I'm gonna head a little closer to the scene there.
You.
How's that? Do we know if they've caught the assailant?
No, not for sure. It's in quite a ways. The actual house, they're bringing the victims out to that intersection from the actual scene. But no, they don't know if they've caught them. I don't know.
All right, sir.
But you understood just where your ALS, I'd like to keep you there in case they find one. But if you do need to stay with that patient, let me know, and I'll just hold 60 either way.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
I'm gonna gate 6.
86, go.
We're just switching over to the hospital for a bit.
Copy, thank you. Much shorter intervals there in case you need the communications.
Anyways, we have a patient on board. We're just coming up to we're 60 stage.
So I wanted to point that out. There's a variety of other things with the tapes. But I'll drop the link in here for that. You guys can go and please feel free to go and download it. Indo got rid of his. Frank did not. But it's interesting that they're using the same channels, because from what I've understood, I did ask around, please correct me again if I'm wrong, they don't do that. Picto uses one channel and Colchester uses a separate channel. So why is it that you've got quote unquote Picto people in Colchester tapes or Colchester people in Picto tapes? Not really adding up. And Northern Girl Hobbies, hello, met you yesterday. Welcome. So there's something a bit hokey about the tapes. Hello, Nighttime. There's something a bit hokey about these tapes. Also, the cutting, I haven't, as I have self-admittedly said, I haven't gone through all the different versions of the tapes myself. I'm going to start laying them side by side, but it takes a long time to do that kind of stuff. But frankly, I think it's probably worth it. Maybe worthwhile to keyword search the transcripts of the tapes. And we do have the original transcripts, I think, for the Colchester tapes also. And I think there may be some stuff that comes up in both. So we have this 3-hour block where somehow the beginning part is getting stuck in there at the beginning, which doesn't belong and clearly could not get downloaded because those are separate download feeds. Oops, where am I here? These are the different feeds. So you actually have to go to the Picto one. So it would be problematic to stick in the Colchester one into the Picto. And in fact, that's not what happened, because you can hear the actual Picto channel and it does actually have it on it. So why has Picto got Colchester stuff in it? And then that's at 11:20-ish. And then it cuts out again until 1 o'clock. So I guess the digital signal started working again until 1 and then stopped working. And then stopped working at 1 till 4. You see how much of a mess this is? So I think you can basically take those tapes, but they're definitely worthwhile researching further. But in my opinion, I would probably do something like this with those tapes. They're not worth a shit. Plus, they never really told you anything anyway. They weren't worth anything to begin with. What was it? A shiny thing makes you feel like you're there in person. Lots of little funny things in there, shining lights and flashing lights and I don't know, space aliens coming down or something or other. Because even Halifax channel, hello you. Some sections out of sequence in Frank file. Yeah, but the channels don't mix. Colchester doesn't mix with Truro, the best I know. I could be wrong. We have the full files for both separately. I do. Several people do. Lots of people do, actually. We happen to get them before they got nerfed. Off Broadcastify. So lots of people have them. We have transcripts, I believe, on everything. So it won't be a problem to go and find out. Porch lights? What's that about porch lights? Porch lights and trees in the wind. Yeah, shiny lures, I think, in muddy waters is what it is. That's what I would call it, shiny lures. But I could be wrong. And that's why I'm asking for your help to correct me, help point me in the ways that I don't know. I've definitely solicited opinions. Some of you are in here that I've asked and are well versed in the scanner department, listen to scanners and know voices and things like this. So I've kind of taken a real education as this whole process has gone along, just like everything. So it's super stuff. But they don't tell you why what happened down on Portapic that night. And they don't also answer anything in respect to Lisa Banfield. They don't answer anything in respect to Leon. They don't answer anything in respect to and their interaction. They don't answer anything in respect to the initial fire calls, I don't believe. They don't answer what else was it? Oh, the evacuation of Mr. Griffin, which time-wise is problematic in terms of the ITOs, etc. So I think they left the tapes up just as a distraction for real issue. Exactly. Boom! And hello. Hello, Linda. Yes, it's a shiny lure. So don't let shiny lures distract you, but let's research it thoroughly. I think it is worthy of researching. I may have rushed to some judgments, but I don't feel that they're completely unfounded. I feel I've done sufficient research on them that to me, they don't quite hold their weight. And anyways, even at the end of the day, they don't say anything. So to me, they're of no use. I suppose I could turn on Bachelorette if I wanted to be entertained. No. And sadly, that's kind of the sick value that's what that's looking for, is like the rubbernecking and, distracting and no. The real question is, why did what happened down there happen? What were the lead-ups? What were the motives? What all was going down there? Who was Mr. Wardman? Not whether there were flashing lights on the other side of the road. That doesn't tell us anything. Something most certainly was happening prior to all of this for a long time. Let me try and go back to some of your comments here. I did hear an interesting comment from somebody. They deleted their comment. I did see it though, and I, of course, tried. I did get a screenshot of it. So I try and screenshot most things, but of course I miss lots. Which is really important. I noticed that certain people's profiles and things like that, information has changed as to where they're working. Anyway, all for another day. I'm not saying that we're not noticing, though. But the comment was in respect to sponsorship of the hockey team. It got me thinking, I'm wondering if there was any other sponsors in the hockey team, say like Atlantic Denture Clinic. Did Mr. Wardman have any involvement with the hockey team? Somebody put that out there. Don't know anything about it, but they deleted their post, even though they've made some posts subsequently and previously. So I don't know whether they said, if I was misinterpreting what they said. I don't believe I got a chance to respond to that. There were also some other questions. So Jeff would be a curious person. Who is Jeff? Jeff is unit, what is that again? Let's go back here. $11.21. Somebody was going off to Colchester, but decided not to in the Picto tapes. Sad. Okay, here's Unit 90, I believe. Unit 90. So whoever knows Unit 90, that's Jeff, I think. Be interesting to know. Maybe he works up in Picto at the same time. Let's see.
Alrighty.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Okay, so Jeff in Unit 90. Anybody know Jeff? Unit 90, EHS? Out of Colchester. I don't think he's out of Picto. You mentioned last Friday night about Brenda Forbes had a book deal from Global. No, I don't know. Sorry, not Brenda Forbes. The book deal is in respect to it was a subsequent book deal that was signed by Jane Gerster, who was the global reporter who covered the Brenda Forbes story from Ottawa, I believe, who is no longer with Global, was my understanding. 90, yes, Unit 90, because as far as I can tell, these weren't encrypted. Well, okay, so I guess they were encrypted before the calls. Is that what we're to understand? They were encrypted from 10:20 some odd till about 1 o'clock. Then 1 o'clock, they lost the encryption and had to use a civilian channel. And then at 4 o'clock, they got re-encrypted, because we also didn't have the 6:30 stuff, 6:37-ish stuff. So I guess maybe there's interesting encryption analog civilian RCMP. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. How does one exactly go and commandeer an analog channel exactly? I suppose they could just bump everybody off the channel. It's very unfortunate. I think probably the people in Picto maybe better consider suing, launching lawsuits against the RCMP, because frankly, their EHS channel, their fire channel, was blocked up. If that is true, that's problematic. I see lots of lawsuits getting filed, which means lots of people can be deposed. Just me. I don't know about the law, but I heard through the grapevine there was legal issues related to airing encrypted police comms, and may explain why the big press hasn't covered these recordings. Anyone know anything about that? I think that's a big fat zero. CBC didn't have any problem airing. Nobody's airing encrypted comms. These are a civilian channel. As everybody quite clearly has stated, it's Broadcastify. Widely available. No problem. Anybody can listen to it. Not a problem. Anybody can rebroadcast it. There is a very interesting warning also if you go to the Picto channel, which does not occur on any other channel. Sorry, I should say does not occur on the Colchester channel or on other channels that I looked at. If you go to the archives here, the content of this audio broadcast is in no way associated with any of the agencies being streamed. By listening to the information heard on this scanner, you are confirming your agreement to use it in your own entertainment purposes. So I'm using this, I suppose, for my entertainment purposes. We need to say that, right? It's not very entertaining. Frankly, I find it rather annoying. But for legality's sake, we'll say that it's entertainment. So if these tapes are entertainment, one has to wonder, Are they real? Why would you need to put a disclaimer like that? Let's continue reading what they say. Entertainment purposes only, and this feed provider assumes no responsibility. Well, it seems like Broadcastify wants nothing to do with these tapes. Zero! They don't want to put this disclaimer down for, I don't know. Let's see. That's also Picto. Well, let's go and have a look at another one. I don't know. Okay, you want to do Colchester? Let's do Colchester. Colchester, EHS fire. That was what they were using before. Oh, no disclaimer. Where's the disclaimer? I thought this was entertainment and nobody, no agency wants anything to do with this. No EHS, no fire, no RCMP, because what is this one again? Entertainment purposes. Sounds like a shiny lure in muddy water. Oh. Does that sound right? These are the really puffy stories about nothing. The surface is, yeah, puffy, very puffy, very, very much shiny lure in muddy water. So I'd stay away from shiny lures in muddy water personally, but that's just me. I have. I prefer to know what really happened, not kind of flashing lights on the other side of the river. But maybe I'll be proven wrong and everybody can just say, oh, ha ha. And that would be great because I would like to look like, well, not look like an idiot, but I would like to know if I'm wrong. I always like to know if I'm wrong. So please, again, leave your comments below or wherever you do it is below. That would be great. Hey, Rage. How's it going? Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. How's it going? Maisie. Using information from encrypted tapes is illegal if used in the commission of a crime. Oh, okay. Well, nobody's committing any crimes here. These are just civilian channels, Broadcastify. Anybody can go and listen, and it's entertainment. At least the Picto. Picto's entertainment. Not over in Colchester. It's not entertainment. But, you know, they don't, Jeff and such don't talk about that. Jeff, Unit 90. Anybody know Unit 90? Code 90? Is it Code 90? I think Code 90 is the driver. All EHS drivers are the same, are from all over Nova Scotia. That night, Colchester tapes are EHS. So, sorry? Are you saying that they're all? They're not, though. Because if you play, let's go back to the other ones. If that's what you're saying, I don't know. Because they clearly are talking about different things, as you can see. You can well see the when you line them up. And again, please feel free. I did drop the link to. I did drop the link right to downloading the video, but we can have a listen. I mean, I'll. How's the best way to do this? If I turn off, which tape is this? This is Colchester, okay? And this is Picto. That's why it's got a P in front of it, just so I can remember. This is Colchester. So if I turn off, you know, you can do things like this.
He was just down there observing the fire, checking out the fire. So
it's playing away. You see, Colchester's not making any noise. You can turn them on and off and stuff like that. It's interesting what you can do. But the tapes don't line up. So they're not using the same channel. They're different channels. Friend of mine ran scanner feed on Broadcastify from his basement in New Brunswick. He had the same disclaimer. He took his feed down in 2014 after he discovered people were doing B&Es, listening to it to avoid police. Well, they're encrypted now. Am I not correct? Or sometimes they're encrypted and sometimes then it works some of the night and then it stops working. 1 till 4 it works. Except for that little strange 10-20 part. Michael, any reason for the release of any encrypted channels most likely would have come from an employee. Everything is well documented. They would have to be a worker, highly likely everything recorded to who has accessed the files on what date. If ERT recording is legit, it's hard to understand internal logic chasing lights and 5 House Road across the river. Yeah, there was also the comment about the teacher's house. I'm still trying to resolve the logic on that one. That would infer that begins with B. Gosh, my memory. See, this is what happens when I'm tired. I need to have a nap. The officer that was referring to the red house with the white car, the teacher's house, knows that it's the teacher's house, but also infers that the people who are hearing that also know it's the teacher's house. One has to ask themselves, how do they know the teacher's house? Or was that something that was heavily sown in the public? Let's just check and see. I could be wrong. Let's try school teacher Nova Scotia. April shooting. Oh, okay. Yeah, we have a lot of references to school teachers here. School teacher. So that was kind of sown in the public realm. Pretty heavy. School teacher. School teacher. School teacher. We had, I'm sure if we did image search here, we're going to come up with quite a few images of, oh, there we go. See, this was kind of plastered everywhere. So we had two really prominent figures. And of course, when we're talking about this, we're talking about 23 prominent figures, frankly, which would take up a lot of space. But Lisa Macaulay's fact about the fact that she was a school teacher was very important. And I understand, obviously, she's very important in the community, as are all of these, sadly, all of these victims. But it was something that was sown quite heavily. If that, I'm not meaning to be disrespectful in any way, shape, or form. It's just something that people will latch on to immediately. Oh, the school teacher, somebody who doesn't know the story that well and they hear the tapes, they'll be like, oh yeah, I know who that is. Well, why did the cops know? Hi, this is 911. What is your mother's profession, please? School teacher. And then the officers, of course, would be briefed and they would be like, well, that's a school teacher. So therefore, when you're running around on the ground without a computer system or anything, you just know that it's a school teacher as there's fires and what was it? War zone. War zone was, quote, verbatim as it was described. I'm sure I'm going to remember somebody's profession in a war zone. But maybe I'm wrong. Wasn't the teacher one of the first calls to 911? I'm not going to touch any of that right now. If you don't mind, Darren. I'm not going to touch orders of stuff. Let's see what else you got here. It was just before they encrypted it. Okay, so that's Moncton, right? Because Moncton pretty much resolved this issue to the best of my knowledge. I could be wrong on that one too. Please correct me. The encryption, right? That was Bork and some of the problems, and that was what was resolved in their get out of jail free card that time. I don't know how many they've got going right now, which is quite a few. And frankly, we're all paying for it a lot. And as you can see, lots of people paid. Lots and lots of people. And not only did 23 people paid, but, hundreds of people in their community, friends, family members, brothers, sisters, daughters, sons, husbands. Tragic aunts, uncles. Not good. Shiny lures. The last one sounded like a helicopter flying and pay a pilot. I will have to listen again. Anyways, if people have some kind of really sparkly things that come out of that, if the tapes get validated further, I would love that. But frankly, I don't think you're ever going to hear that they'll be validated in any way, but you can disprove them. And you can. Maybe I've given a couple questions here. Is it possible that the Blair kids told them that they were the school teacher's home and first described the color of the house? Absolutely possible. Absolutely possible. Is it something that you're going to remember? The school teacher's house? Red house? Address? Those are probable. It just seems less probable that it would be school teacher. School teacher, though, very heavy in the public consciousness today. So let us just say, hypothetically, that the tapes are fraudulent, which, frankly, is not beyond the RCMP, and we've shown several instances where there's been falsification of evidence, not including destruction of evidence. I mean, frankly, they might want to address the car. Yeah. VINs. VINs are stamped, blocked into engine blocks. So I think, yeah, that one's going to be a tougher one. Obviously, they're going to have to reproduce the car. Perhaps the information I got was wrong on that. I don't think so. Tapes are too spliced and edited to be verified for me. I would agree. Yeah. There seems to be multiple versions too. What time do they mention the teacher in the tape? Possibly they already discovered her by that time. They did discover her by that time, I would think. Yes. Oh, wait. The school teacher's house. Can somebody answer that one, actually? However, is it going to be the first thing that comes to mind? Just logically thinking. If you discovered a body on the ground, are you going to be thinking about the person's profession? Just asking questions here. And obviously, with all sensitivity in mind. I think most of the family members that I have spoken to do understand that I try to have as much compassion and sensitivity as possible, because this is a deeply traumatizing event that has affected a lot of people, including all of you in here and wonderful, wonderful people working over in the Discord. Gosh, I love you guys. Super, super, super. If they simply wanted to reference houses, they would have said the color, a unique feature, not the owner's occupation. There you go. Thank you. I appreciate the vote of confidence. I just simply, it doesn't seem to add up to me. It doesn't add up that sometimes it's encrypted and sometimes it's not. And, you know, if there was an issue of coverage within Nova Scotia, I can see that, probably. That's problematic and probably looking at another lawsuit. I encourage people to start suing the shit out of them. Everybody. I mean, not just for your families. But, you know, if they do have a problem, which they didn't resolve in Moncton, because that would have been then traced back to Moncton, right? They didn't resolve Moncton. Moncton was supposedly that they would have everything fully encrypted and no problems. So if that hasn't been resolved, well, ouch. Because they went against a ruling prior. Now, let's just even go with that the digital coverage just wasn't working well that night at all. Would it not behoove them, because cell signals clearly were working down in Portapique, so I would think then that the encryption level was working down there. Logic, right? But just saying. I'm very sarcastic. If it's not working all over Nova Scotia and you need people to come in from other areas, maybe you do get on an analog channel and you say, get your ass down here. And then that's all you really need to say, don't you? Because now you're in an encrypted area. Don't need to say anything. Shiny lure in muddy waters. Lisa M. reported Workman as well in the past. I think either the policeman knew who Lisa McCauley was. That was my first thought. You know, the school teacher's house. So that means that Basalt, that's who it was. Basalt knows who Lisa McCauley is. Question, how does Basalt know who Lisa McCauley is? Next question, how do the members that he's speaking to, because obviously he's being descriptive, and that the members that he's speaking to also in turn must know Lisa McCauley is a teacher. You know, the school teacher's house. Oh yes, the school teacher. Not anybody coming back with, who the fuck is a school teacher? I don't know any school teacher. Sorry, my language. I get a little excited. Yes. Were there any errors? Does anybody know of any errors that they want to talk about on the Colchester tapes? I believe there were some errors from the original live version of the Colchester tapes to what was put out on the Broadcastify entertainment site. Shiny lure muddy waters. But I'm just using their own words, their entertainment. Only on Picto. But that's okay, because don't worry about the Colchester, which of course is totally up for everybody to see. Let's go back to Picto archives here. No problem to go and, as I pointed out, no problem. Well, if it wants to load. Oh, maybe they don't like my internet now. No problem to go back to, April, March, January. Go back to January. You can go a year back. No problem to go to April 18, 19, Picto. Okay, well, let's try Colchester. Because, should be able to go back there. CBC had them on the air. Okay, January, Colchester. Let's go back. No disclaimer. This channel's not. It stops at May. Wonder why there's nothing over here. There's no arrow. I keep trying to click it. It doesn't go back. It's almost like people didn't want people to listen to the April one, but that they did want people to listen to Picto April. Strange. You want everybody to listen to the meat and potatoes, the shiny lure, but you don't want them to listen to the ones where it's just a bunch of EHS people talking a little bit. Maybe it's the gun in the woods that pissed them off, the shooting in the foot. Who knows? Is it possible the archives for Colchester disappeared because EHS left that channel? No idea. Please, I think it would be great to answer some of these questions. Some of them I'm kind of have come to answers on my own, but of course I would love to know. Inquiring minds. I agree with the many questions. Have to keep in mind that such a small community in Colchester as an area far away with kids may well have been saying to 911. Yeah, totally. I can see that some of these police officers may know her from in school also. That's possible. That's possible. But also we have the introduction of many officers who are not from the area. And of course, many officers are not even from Nova Scotia. You know, the community policing thing that they have. Oh, yeah, they got rid of that. So there are, funnily enough, officers who aren't even from there, so they wouldn't necessarily know. And nor would they go to Lisa McCauley's school. Has the RCMP admitted they picked up Peter? The RCMP has admitted that they have dirty diapers and poo all over their face is what they have. Oh, they admitted that, yes, they destroyed a possible, sorry, I should be very careful. They admitted that the moratorium was real. So potentially there was the destruction of evidence. Potentially. They haven't said that. One has to wonder where that gray Mazda, maybe they've got that straight now. Not the red Mazda. This, oh yeah, CERT, right. Felix Cashillon still refers to the tracker. Joey's driving a tracker still, don't you know? Ouch. Let's see here. Just distraction, just a distraction. Yep. And I do hope that at least people, irrespective of whether they do turn out to be true or not, which I frankly don't think so, because actually it weighs much more heavily in favor of the RCMP than before, because my understanding was there were very few members that were on the ground that night initially, and I never did determine when, if any, beyond 7 moved in. Initially in Portapique. So all of a sudden, you know, these tapes have lots of members running around, in excess of 12, I believe was the discussion I was having with Julie earlier. So then it weighs a lot better. You know, we had 12 people down there, but they just couldn't find their way around a loop because they, you know, they get lost in a loop. So you taxpayers can fork out a bunch of money and we don't have to tell you what we were really doing down there. You know what I'm saying? Car left unlocked, shot in foot, dropped gun, Chris Lambie didn't touch that. Nobody's touched that. Nobody's touched that. But, you know, again, it still doesn't even answer what was going on prior. I'm more back at motive. Why did this happen? Not Lisa. On Lisa note, there's several interesting developments on that. I don't know how much we should get into at this point with that. One really important one that I don't think people, some people I will say, some people may be aware of, is the fact that because Lisa got charged, which on the surface of it seems kind of good. Lisa and her brother and brother-in-law, two men, of course, because they couldn't defend their sister, where they buy ammunition for the gunman. Why? On a summary conviction charge. It's a nothing burger. But it does, funnily enough, give them access to the full unredacted warrants. It also gives their lawyers the chance to fight in court. So if we actually mathematically work out how long it's been since the RCMP have been, really fucking everybody, because grab your KY, we're having a good time over here. You're screwing your employers and, well, frankly, a lot of people's families. If we were going at the trajectory and rate that we were doling out warrants after all the fighting, which I can assure you has cost tens of millions of dollars by this point, tens of millions of dollars, all these court cases, because you have to figure that how many different lawyers are in there right now fighting for the government. I think, funnily enough, the Canada Border Service Agency isn't disputing it, which is, funnily enough, interesting. If I was a lawyer, I think I might want to subpoena them under discovery. That's interesting. Discoveries, I would have real good time. If we were going prior to the Lisa charge, we were talking about 2 years more, because I think we're at 9 right now. Warrants have been issued. We have 20 left to go. We're almost a year. We're getting there, right? So it's about another 2 years for all the warrants to get issued. 3 years? 3 years for the warrants. Now introduce Lisa into the picture. Well, then it becomes a longer process because they get to fight little bits and pieces too, because now they're at that table as well. Plus, they get to read all the unredacted warrants. Do you know who doesn't get to read the unredacted warrants? You, me, any taxpayer in this country. Oh, and that's right. These people. Their families. None of them get to read it. You know what they get to read? White pages. You know why I know? Because I get them. That's why. They removed the use of, well, look at this. You see? They've gone and taken all my Sharpies. Again. These bastards. Oh, I still have one. One Sharpie. They decided to save taxpayers on the Sharpies and just start issuing warrants with white pages. Not saving any trees or anything, because, we all, our taxpayer dollars, can go and pay for that too. Delay the inquiry. I'd like to get into at a later point in time too, because I love the selection of people. We're still trying to drive that narrative of garbage, which has been completely unsubstantiated. In fact, I would say utterly shot down. Completely dismissed. At least the motive. So let's move along to the real motive, please, RCMP. I know everybody wants to see the good in this. There isn't. there's a lot of bad, and there's a lot more bad than people want to think about. Not tinfoil, totally true. Totally 100% on the up and up. Sinaloa. Where the fuck is that coming from? Derp. Check the old feed in April there. I can't. I don't know if you're talking about the April feed for Maisie. Only goes to July. Which one is that, sorry? Nova Scotia Fire. Oh, okay. East Halifax Regional Municipality. Which one only goes to July? These are going to be fire and EHS calls, aren't they? Mind you, that's not true, because which police departments aren't using encrypted? Most of the police departments, is that right? Truro Police doesn't use encrypted. Does Halifax? Does Halifax PD? I know that Kinsella, very quiet, but has a real problem with what's going on with the RCMP. Just can't really say anything. Might lose his access to the labs, you know? Because the RCMP like to threaten people. Threaten other police forces. Way to go. Threaten, Department of, no, not good. You can't use the helicopter. If we can't use the helicopter, you can't use our labs. Sounds really cool. Frankly, I hope you lose all your jobs. Except the good ones that are going to come forward, because I know you're going to do it, because your conscience is going to weigh on you, because you're going to see all of these people and you're going to have to live in their community. You're going to have to look at their faces. Ergo, Tara, the other day, despite your deleting of her her Facebook video, you don't treat people like that. She told you what happened to her family. You didn't even say you're sorry for her. As in, you don't have to say you're sorry for your actions. You could be compassionate. Compassion, that was a big fat zero. There wasn't, oh, I'm terribly sorry to hear that. I think there was yelling and pulling over. Way to treat family. Any family. And I know she's not alone. And people in the community that treat other family members kind of in a deplorable fashion should be ashamed of themselves. Should be supportive. Like, I don't know, all of you. And all of you. Winning team is here. Losing team, they're pissing their pants. That's why they have the yellow stripe. That's why they're doing all kinds of funny games in the background. Deleting videos, changing profiles, fabricating evidence, destroying evidence, fighting in court, Sharpies, blank pages, 3 years, bogus charges, Mr. Big lawyers. Excuse me? Darren, who's your brother again? Hey, death to commie. Gutsy dude. Death to commies. Hey, Dub, what's up? Dubs. Friends, hello. Concan took the third feed down. Yeah, I think it would be worthwhile. I mean, again, I don't think that you're going to get a lot of answers. Probably you may get possibly piss off. You won't get to use our labs if you come near us. We're phoning in people from the main border to come down and help us. So you can just stay and play with yourselves over in Truro or Halifax. No red shirts. No, Kinsella didn't like the red shirt idea. Strange. Was it red shirts, red hats? Red hats. Strange. I mean, though I think there should be 23 different colors on that hat, but not just red. Pinging phones pretty quick here under certain criteria. It's pinging people's profiles, doing all kinds of things. You know, I did say that I was getting my emails read. That's interesting. And kind of misfiled. I like that. Didn't even know that I was getting them. Thanks. Did RCMP pull over a family member, a victim? Not RCMP, Halifax Regional. Halifax Regional did. And that was clearly made aware. Clearly made aware. I went through that a couple of videos ago, I think. Very sad. Very sad. And Tara's here. So. I mean, I don't know how the best way to deal with this, if it is reporting officers or not. I think the conscience of these people really has to be played upon. There seems to be an utter lacking in conscience in a lot of people these days, which is frankly disgusting. Really disgusting. And people should be ashamed. And people should throw tomatoes at them publicly. Hey, you know, you really suck. You really suck. My kids go to school with your kids. Read my comment about Pictou County scanner. Okay, where is your comment about Pictou County only has EHS and fire for a long time. No police, okay, on the scanner normally. I've listened to it for months to see it happen again. No police talk on it. Yeah, I think, again, it just, of course, leads. Only 3 hours. We only have 3 hours. Oh, and 30 seconds. And some cool music. I don't know why. Maybe they like that in Mexico. Good point. Good point. Oh, good to see you. Good to see you. Okay, thank you. Saying hello to D. D. Who can access what? Oh, yeah, Tara, you want stuff, I can get it. And if not, we'll pay. You know, thank you to somebody very much in the group who is a heavy assistance, who has subscribed to it on behalf of our group. You know, it's not exactly free investigating, but it's just what should be done. And I mean, it's a pittance, right? What costs money, funnily enough, is time. But time and emotion and things like that are nothing compared to these people, right? And I really, truly hope, maybe I live in a fantasy world. Maybe I do. Maybe I do. Not to say I was a saint in my life. I certainly was not. But I do hope that I live in a world and I can have children that are in my life. They can grow up in a world that A, they can be proud of, B, they're not afraid, and C, that they know that people in their community, even if they don't know them, will actually take care of them. Maybe if they're in a bad way. Because we all need to take care of one another. Now, and no problem paying Clinton's cell phone. Okay, I'm not going to touch that. I am talking about another family member. What were you saying? Oh, a different family member. Oh, okay. Well, I'm not. I don't know what you're speaking about, so we'll just leave it there for now. Report them for not giving badge number. Yep, that was bad. That was pretty bad. I don't know if he was there by mistake, this police officer. I don't know, and I'm not going to make comments on him, or because they are in a bad way. Also, you have to understand, and this is what I hope that they can come to see. All police officers. It's not that people hate you, because they don't. I think everybody here, pretty much most people I know, support what the police do. By and large. They support what their job is, and that if they follow their job to the letter, then we're good, right? And we want to support them, and they want to support us. They understand that they work for us. They are to protect and serve. I know that's been totally written out of the lexicon of modern day. You can't serve anymore. Strange. You can get paid, but you can't serve. Don't know what other job you can do that in. Oh, politics. But actually, there's probably more than just that, but sadly. But that they want that same thing too, because they want their kids not to be thought of as, oh my God, you're the child of a police officer. Oh, I don't like you. Ostracized and hated and vilified because of what your superiors, who are our employees, are making you do. No, I think you stand up, you do the right thing, you clear your conscience, and you say, listen, I agree in upholding the law, being honest, truly transparent, not like Leather and his beanhead. True transparency, like a glass of water, because if you don't, then you get fired. And you also just want to be a good person. I like the principle of just being good people. It's great. It's great. Another family another family member, got pulled over by the police. Uh-oh. Well, you'll have to regale me with that after I'm done here. How's that? You can regale me with that. I like to know. I like to know if family members are being harassed. But frankly, pisses me right off. And I think, frankly, all Canada would like to know. You want to harass these people? That's pretty awesome. You got no conscience at all. You're sick people. You need mental health treatment. You're deplorable. Or you're a really good person and you're afraid. So, you know what? I think cops are brave. Cops should be brave. Stand up. Be counted. A lot of you start doing it. Suddenly, well, I don't know. The power's removed. And I've seen it before. I've seen officers who have stood up before and the public has supported them. The RCMP has tried to nail them down, really tried to hurt them, and the public came forward. And it's like, no. And then they turn around, they pretend that they're friends. They're like, oh, we'll give them awards and we'll do all this because they're awesome. But secretly in their little mob at the top camp, which is doing bad things in our communities and probably allowing that to take place, which may have something to do with what happened down there. They do the right thing when they're challenged on it. They have to, because they know there are only so many of them and there's lots of us. It only works if you let it work, right? Power is only in the mind. Well, I'm going to, let me just be simple. Let me say something like this. The system we have built is built on a shoestring. It barely runs at all. If the shoestring gets stretched a little too much, it really, really breaks. A few people start challenging things, more than a few, but not many. It's not like you have to have hordes. They can't. They don't have the capacity. They don't have the, and I'm not talking about armed insurrection or anything crazy. This is how things were done before. Once upon a time, people actually fought and died. I mean, that was pretty crazy, but I'm obviously not saying anything like that because, well, that's just bringing on more of this, right? We don't need any more of that. Gabriel Wortman lived. That's a very good point. Yeah, he did. He did. I think maybe that's why they're involved to an extent. I don't know. HRP is under the thumb of RCMP if all recent drug busts are an indication of this. Absolutely. HRP is a very interesting city. The regional, the way the division of policing is done in Halifax, there is no other model like it in to the best of my knowledge, at least in Canada, where you have a federal force and municipal force that has divided a city into different quadrants and different pieces. No. A city is ruled by a municipal force, and outside of the city is, or is ruled by a federal. It's not ruled by both, but in Halifax it is. Yeah, they're very much an integrated unit. But I think it's interesting that Kinsella made the moves that he did because he stood up. The one article where the officer who did have balls, and great for him, I'd like to have his picture and put it on my wall. There used to be, I have stuff on my wall. I used to have an article, I don't think I have it up there anymore, of a lady who down in Ottawa, it's totally off topic, so please pardon me, but there was a lady who was pressured by the Ottawa Police Department, not a very clean police department as we've been through on a previous case to do with the RCMP, because they kind of utilized them to investigate themselves. And, well, it was just a big joke. But she was pressured to hire a person of a certain ethnicity because of an incident that had happened. She was heavily pressured. She worked in the civilian department, and she said, well, okay, that's fine. I'm absolutely, totally fine hiring somebody. Please, give me some stuff. I think I should be hiring the most qualified person, which of course makes sense. But I don't seem to have any good resumes here. And they're like, well, what are you talking about? The chief of police. And she said, no. He's like, you have this one, hire this one. And she said, no, I can't hire him because I've done a criminal background check on him and he has a criminal record. I can't hire him. And he said, no, hire him. Well, first of all, he got into trouble later. She said, no, I'm not hiring him. I'm not hiring him. She stood up for her values, got sacked for it, but, still has her ethics, her morality, her integrity intact, and her conscience is clean. Amazing. I had her picture on my wall. I don't know where it is now. People can be like that. And I remember you. I will never forget you. Heroes. That's heroes. That's goodness. So simple that we only want fairness and honesty. It's a very simple concept. Deborah, completely agree. However, it seems to be a foreign one to our employees. So therefore, I think our employees just should be fired. And it's not to say that I want the RCMP disbanded, because I don't. I want some severe reforming going on. Big time. And all of the people at the top, all of them, gone. All white shirts. Poof. If you haven't stood up by now, because you've had 9 months to do it. You've had 9 months to do the right thing and take care of these people. We all know that this is just symptomatic of a very serious cancer in this country. You've had, and that pervades far past the RCMP, but you've had 9 months in this particular case to do something about it. The right thing. You have chosen. And you've chosen for your families and your children not to. As a result, people will remember your name. I will. And I'm certainly going to teach other children around me. The following people are deplorable, sick, disgusting, not even worthy of the name human being. And they're your employee. And that will pervade. They will go to school with your kids. It will bleed out. It will not be friendly, as in terms of just relations. Or you can stand up and do the right thing, but you didn't. You've still got time here. And then you can turn on the people that are making you do it. Clean up your conscience. Clean up your backyard. Not a toughie. My comment didn't show I'm talking about the tape. Didn't anyone ping with the phone versus earlier tapes? Didn't anyone ping with phone versus earlier in tapes? I'm sorry, Nick. I'm failing to grasp what you're saying. I apologize. Little Gray says you should read Devin's stacks and enter rope. It gives insights. You know me, Dov. I know a couple of things about, but that's for another day. I have to. This is where I am. This is where God has led me to. Help a friend. That's it. And I've made a ton of good friends along the way. Ton of good friends. I don't know what is this? Who is this? People invite me to parties or something. You can take your party and blow it out your ass. I think some Xbox thing. I don't play Xbox. I don't even know who the hell you are. Screw off. I'm not clicking on your link. I can share an EPUB with you if you can't just... I have many books left to read, sir, but I am familiar with the book from a long time ago. I see your comment. Okay, HRP had the warnings. Yep, I think that would be true. Oh goodness, I'm way far back. Oh, I'm not too far back actually. YouTube chat is sketchy. Switch top chat to live chat to see more comments. Yeah. Gosh, they just censor. Poor Steve getting the boot. Please do subscribe. I don't know if he's in here yet. Still, I didn't get the copy of that link. Damn. Damn it. Damn it. Steve double LT, I think it is. That's why we were pervaded the power of Clinton Ellison's phone. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Now I understand, Nick. You're speaking of Clinton Ellison's phone? Oh, no, of course, because they were, I don't know, concentrating on people's professions for 3 hours of civilian tapes where encryption was working on either side except for 30 seconds, 20 minutes in. Whoa! I heard some tapes video, someone has everyone pinged with phone, and it came back yes or no response. Okay, well, I don't know about these tapes, but I guess those will probably be further verified, which will be great, because we can just get rid of them then, or find out whatever shininess is there and move along to real issues. Don't they talk about the phone being pinged in Dartmouth? Is that still back on the tapes? One officer did ping to Wortman's cell phone early in ERT tape. Another officer says wrong channel. Again, you can take my opinion or leave it. I don't think it's an uneducated opinion. It's definitely all I've done since this tragedy has unfolded. Kendall Blois, I heard on the radio tape, no response. Then in follow-up, it was registered now to LB. Okay. Some medical releases can take 2 to 3 years to get paperwork done. I don't know if you're referring to the autopsy reports for the families. They were done, the autopsies were done within, I can go back through my email records. They were done within a few days. And, well, Tara's still waiting for hers. Better speed it up over there at the medical examiner. I forgot about that one. We got to start motivating the group. The group! We can start putting some pressure on. I like that. You guys are all really good. We got to make our voices heard, because frankly, yes, we acquire lots and lots of knowledge. We also are a force. There's a lot of people who have lots of time. These people, my friend, these are my friends, except for the shitbags that are in there, and somebody else is inviting me to some crap. There's a couple in there, I know, and that's sad. But we can motivate ourselves and not just type all kinds of stuff here. We can start exerting external pressure, and there's a variety of tactics that can be done. Equally, families can do lots of interesting things. Not just tapes, not just making public requests and appeals and things like that. You can go, one that's, I think, really great would be, which was suggested to me, 23 roses. Take 23 roses down to Bible Hill on the 19th of every month as a family group. Prior to doing that, do be sure to do a group email to every media outlet and all politicians, federal and local. Everybody knows that, including RCMP and other police forces potentially that are involved. Everybody knows that the other person knows that you know. Somebody will be there with cameras. They won't leave you sitting there in the cold with 23 roses. Maybe the RCMP might, but it'll be on camera. Equally, you can put it on YouTube. I'll definitely host it. Anytime any family member wants anything done. Which brings me to another point. Charlene has asked that, and I respect whatever a family member asked me, not to air the interview. I know she sent me a message today. I have not responded to it. I don't know what that means. So maybe she's thought about something or has some alternate ideas. I did send out a message to everybody in the Discord about that, and I did not mean to falsely mislead. I still have it. She's asked me not to delete it. It was a very good interview. Maybe not so great on my part, but the message was powerful. Her message is very powerful. She's a powerful person. All of the family members, Tara's very powerful. And family members can be extremely powerful and can really get a lot of stuff done. We are people who are just saying, listen, we can go and read and we can listen to stuff and try and keep track of things before they delete them and alter them and listen to our phone calls and read our emails, do whatever they want to do. But we don't have the same place in people's hearts, right? You do. But of course, it is where you're at. But it's okay to go out of your comfort zone because you have a lot of people behind you who will stand with you and won't walk away. Bad days some of us may have. I've had some bad days. Doesn't mean I'm going to go away. This means I need to rely upon my friends more, the new friends I've made. And it's okay to reach out for people's help too. Do remember that. It's okay to take a break and do other things as well. I just don't have lots of other things to do. My dog needs me these days, but did you hear interjection wrong channel? Yes, okay. We're still on tapes. I'm more looking for the validity of the tapes, and I do hope that they will pass the sniff test. For me, it has failed miserably. It failed from the onset. And I think actually the Colchester ones did, because I heard some information about there were certain things missing. And actually you can even hear in the Colchester tapes periodically, you can hear things that are missing. It's just like that little excerpt where the Jeff statement is made. They've edited that little piece out. I guess it must be for entertainment purposes, right? I mean, what are you doing? I don't know. Where's that? Oh, bollocks. There. Jeff is in here. Is it this part?
Thank you.
I'm going to head a little closer to the scene there.
Thank you.
How's that?
Go ahead, Jeff.
Go ahead, Jeff. There we go. I actually unmuted this time. Go ahead, Jeff. Seems like something's being edited. It's like the Colchester part, that other one. There's a Colchester in there too that's been removed because it wouldn't make sense. Truro part. Yeah. Oh, Tara's fired up about that. Yeah, and I think, frankly, it actually shows too, not only if we started doing things as a group, kind of did more action, not just kind of research and things like that, which is of benefit to people and hopefully to certain journalists and things like that out there who want to pay it ear, and obviously it challenges the RCMP all over the place. I think that it would also do a great thing for us as a community, work on an activity together, we're all doing this or something like that. It's more unison, more supportive. Just a thought. Using Discord platform means we have to play by their rules. We'd have to keep our community going, but certain things can get the whole server nuked. Well, frankly, what do we have left, man? It's the docs cord, that docs cord. We can't allow illegal content to be hosted there. Well, I'm not condoning illegal hosting or any illegal acts or anything like that. I don't condone that kind of stuff. 3D is dope. I don't know what that is. Seamus, yes, Seamus, and find emails that I didn't read in the deleted files on my computer. Oh, yes. Well, yes, apparently my emails disappear to other people too. Interesting. Or, yeah. Way it goes, Still doesn't matter. This tech garbage, I know one day when we get it all figured out way down the line, like in a very big picture, the tech will go in the toilet. People will say, well, no, you sold us on that we're so much more advanced and life is so much better. Actually, you frankly were full of shit and lied to us a lot. So screw off. Lots of people will. I know some people will never get there, but yes, there is stuff missing from the Colchester tapes. There we go. Ding, ding, ding. Ding, ding, ding. And that's from the original tapes. From the original, not the original tapes, from the live on the ground, which then got uploaded, which then CBC put their crap version on, which then people listened to, but you didn't get to hear what was really going on the ground that night. Anyways, better conversation, shoot me private, shoot me a DM. Okay. Hulk. Okay, well, I've grown much smaller in my years. I'm getting old. My beard is getting gray. Good to see you. Good to see you. I had no idea that there were Mexican drug cartel people in Canada, especially in Nova Scotia, until I read about them getting arrested. Yes, we have to be very discerning right now. What is real versus what is not real? We all need to take valuable lessons from this stuff. Valuable. And these are valuable lessons. Even this kind of garbage is an extraordinarily valuable lesson. Do you know why? Because you learn not to trust everything that's out there. You learn the eye of discernment. Sometimes some stuff is bullshit. Sometimes stuff is there to mislead you. Sometimes stuff is there just to distract you. Sometimes you learn who are clowns and you get rid of them. You're like, well, that person was a decent person. Then you're like, oh, fuck, I got screwed on that one. And it isn't to say that you run around, you're like pointing fingers at everybody, because that's dangerous. You just amass evidence and then discuss it. Don't, try and do it probably in a better way than I do. So is it, I've heard a couple of things in the Mexican stuff. It's shaky. I will say shaky. I'm not saying this story specifically, but shaky. And again, I think there's a lot of chum. They're throwing a lot of chum out there on different issues. Wortman's buddy lawyer clients were Mexican drug cartel in New Brunswick. Yeah, I'll have to pull can law cases on that and check. Not saying that I disbelieve you. And I know that there's for sure one person in here who can most certainly do that. Their court transcripts and sentencing were very telling. Yes. Lots of people seem to get to skate on a lot of things. Can law. There we go. Ding. Can law. Valuable resource. Funky enough, I get blocked by someone when I'm talking to someone about Portapic. Today, I had to laugh at that. You got blocked. Oh, blocked on social media. Yeah, well, you know, if people don't want to talk about things, then frankly, I think that they're either got their head in the sand, they're either part of the problem, but they're most certainly not part of the solution. And probably a wide berth should be kept from these people. And it is kind of a sad state of scenario where you have kind of a divisive issue that people should be unified in. But a lot of people have things they don't want to be forthcoming about, you know, things they're maybe ashamed of, and they can't deal with their own stuff and whatever. You're a beast. I'm not a beast. I'm just have a gray beard. Yeah. And bad hair. But I have a Ford hat. I like this hat. It's one of my more favorite Fords. One of these days I'll have to break out my beaver Stetson. Oh. That might get some people who like animals mad. My old rodeo hat. A lot of blocking going on. Well, we got friends. We have friends. We're a community. Be no blocking going on. No erasing either. I like the erasing. Certain people do a lot of erasing. Certain people. You don't think it goes noticed? Oh, it's going noticed and documented. And frankly, might not look very good on you. Perhaps time to join the hot tub parties. Hot tub party, just stay over in the hot tub with Brenda. Don't keep coming public. It's going to get worse. Just cringe. Classics. Oh, now you're classics. Okay. You're classy classics class. Sometimes there are people just for fuck you. What? Sometimes people are there just to fuck you. Yes. Oh, did they edit that word out of the chat? I don't even read the regular chat, which is probably bad. I know that some of the things get edited out. I remember one day I'm typing in my own chat. It's happened to me a few times, and it's come up pink. And it says, oh, the comment that you said could not be displayed. And I wasn't even saying anything, I think, terribly bad. No swears. Nothing like that. And no, can't display it on your own channel. Okay, interesting. Dubs is a Ford guy. Ford's a good truck. They make a good truck. Nah, you gotta be biased on that kind of thing, I think. Yes, again, I think it's worthy of researching it. But do remember, he took one fall. He did get a reasonable sentence for it. Doesn't appear as though he turned, but that's possible. He didn't get anything in exchange, at least that we can know about. Maybe he took money. I'm not sure. There's a lot of money that flows out, despite the documents that the RCMP publicly puts forward as to how much witness protection, etc., costs, which I can assure you, I can most assure you, and there's for sure one person in here who can definitely attest to that too, is absolute horse manure. The witness protection program and the payouts that are going to criminals are massive. There was one dude I was reading about that got over $1 million. $1 million. And they sit around and negotiate it like contracts. You know, oh yeah, I want this, I want that. I like that side by side. I know some of you know what I'm talking about. That side by side, kind of interesting. I think probably the RCMP know what I'm talking about. Side by side. And no, it's not the one down Portapic. Picture side by side. Let's see here. Now, where are we? Beaver Stetson. Yes, Beaver Stetson. I got it downstairs. You got blocked today? Oh. Uh-oh. Can I guess who's blocking you? When was the last time I spoke to Paul? That's a while, I think. Yeah, that's probably for it's not to say everything's good. Everything's good. All working together, right? What do city police say? I don't know what the city police say. They don't say anything. Where's the video of the crates under the dock? Okay, I think I know what you're referring to, and I think I know which video. I don't know where that is. I don't know. Perhaps that person can put it back up and maybe send me a link. Because for some reason, I can't seem to find it. Seamus, the person who blocked me, was not on the PH with me. The a-hole blocked me while I was talking to a friend. Well. Uh-oh. Beaver Stats are awesome. Got to see that. Yeah. That's not a bad hat. It's not a bad hat. What is it they call it? 20, what is it? 25X or 40X? Yeah, it's a neat hat. Yeah. Anyway, another day. One day when somebody wants some more laughs at me. I'll stick with the muting and mispronouncing for now. Gross, pig, Coke, jacuzzi, time machine. Yeah. Yeah, the Coke jacuzzi thing is a problem. Parties. I have an appointment in the morning, so going to bed. Oh no. God bless you. God bless you. You know, I'm praying for you. I think I'll get off and I'll give you a quick call because that was just a few minutes ago, so I can call you and say good night. Make sure that you're okay. I like to make sure you're doing okay. I know you're going through a tough time. Swamp Donkey, Brenda needs a bath. Who would be too hot for me? Who would be too hot for me? Well, I don't know. Lots of people are too hot for me. I'm just a little plain old me. That's what I am. I mean, imposters everywhere. Well, there are some. That's for sure. They're coming more. People are seeing them. And I like I said, I'm really amazed. I did go through that dip there the other day where I was like, oh, people are missing something here. And I tried to leave a couple of things out about it for a long time. And I'm like, maybe they might want to ask a couple questions. And what do you know? I was pissed. And then the next day or the day after, I'm like, whoa, what just happened here? Okay, now we can talk about it a little bit more. Because I'm not going to come out and say a lot of things until we're a little bit more unified. I don't want to be divisive, trying to navigate the waters carefully with the chess moves. It's millions and millions and millions. Lots and lots and lots and lots of money. They're full of shit. I can't remember what they say. It's like $4 million a year or something. I'm like, no, man. No. Oh, I like this one story. It's back in Harper Times, but I was definitely in my file now. The RCMP were returning money that they had allocated for online child pornography investigations, about $2 million a year over 5 years, so approximately $10 million to investigate online child porn and the production of it, and how to track children down that were in a dangerous situation. They decided not to take that money, and they returned it to the government. That's pretty sick. It's really sick. It's almost like they didn't want to deal with that problem too much. CBC. So, frankly, I think they're probably going to shit on themselves. Millions of dollars, new names. Yeah, new names. Kind of. Sometimes. Kind of. Canada is sometimes not. Canada is the greatest country on earth. We deserve better people in positions of power. We deserve a better country. But got lots of great people. Got the foundation. Just have a lot of shit at the top. Just needs to be skimmed off and thrown in the garbage. It's like a greasy soup. Pay millions for the cover-ups. I don't think we can ever probably get that information, but I would really like to know. It's definitely on my list of questions to ask God when this is all done. How much did the RCMP, the government, Blair, Nova Scotia government, etc., pay lucky lawyers, judges, maybe? How much does this all cost us to not get answers for human beings who did nothing wrong other than just have their member die? Everybody, I mean, I'm not saying that, yeah. Hello, Ozzy. Who is Brenda? Who's Brenda? Oh, my. Oh, Mark, you're wanting me to have a cigarette. Okay. Who's Brenda? Brenda Bo Forbes. Now I feel better. Thank you. You needed to remind me. Witness protection is not. That is 100% the truth. It's a bit of a... Dorrington would know. Frank. Good old Frank Dorrington. Swiss Air Frank. Bill Morneau's cousin. Lucky. That's not. I haven't found any hard proof of that. I've looked high and low. I found one post that was. I traced it back to one post, and it's not something I could verify. Did government use all the buried cash in Gabriel Wortman? Who knows? Who knows? Somebody is calling it the New Oak Island. The New Oak Island. I don't care. Hey, Steve, can you link your channel, please? I've been talking to all the city and provincial police. They're shocked and disgusted. There's some other issues, perhaps, but I don't want to touch on those. That they could, stand up and do the right thing. Sex, drugs, and wife swapping. You could. That's Dub. Your comment is provocating violence. Violence, I say. 80 of you here. Thank you. Ever so glad to have you aboard. Tracy's in the house. My buddies and I drove home a cop's brother after drinking with him in a pub. Cops here can't figure out how bad the RCMP botched everything. Well, they could probably just ask, and they could probably speak up, and I don't know. Is that a crazy thought? Am I just living in real crazy town? I think I'm sane. It's like the rest of the world, or not the rest of the world. Sorry, because I know you guys aren't. There seems to be some certain mental illness floating around this world. Quite bad mental illness. Needs to get cleaned up, along with consciences. And it's going to be a court one day. Big court. Hot tub lifestyle out here. The hot tub machine. This one's getting a lot of play, eh? The hot tub. People are getting wise on the hot tub. Hot tubs. I could go for a hot tub. You guys like the hot tub outside, and I remember skiing. I used to love go skiing, and panorama. Panorama, you could do it. Sunshine now. And at the end of the day, have a hot tub, and you could get out of the hot tub and roll around in the snow. I don't think I could probably ski or snowboard worth of shit now. Love and strength. Big prayers. To all of the 23 families. $4 million, that's a lie. They spent approximately on one case in Nova Scotia. Well, I think you have numbers. Okay, all kinds of Discord stuff going in there. Good. Okay. That's Dubs does really good work on different type of things, not necessarily Nova Scotia related, but perhaps it may interest some. And it's good to have him. I haven't seen him around in a while. Good friends. Okay, now, good message. Okay, don't waste so much. Oh. Sad mafioso. I'm just kind of watching what's going on. Oh, and hi, Ricky. One more tragic repetition of incomprehensible critical errors of the night before, there are 2 exits on Hunter Road. Officers have been waiting at the north end of Moncton ERT to arrive. The shooter left undeterred out by the nearby south exit. Oh, no. Ken Summers. I do not believe Ken Summers is a legitimate journalist. Question. Okay, good question. But Rick Howe once interviewed him. Oh, well, that for sure. That must make him real. He also seems like a tumultuous relationship with some Facebook users on the forums. You can find an article at Halifax Media Co-op, where anyone like you and I can contribute and have an article posted. Also, disclaimer at the top of the article states, not reviewed by Halifax Media Co-op editors. Oh, can I post articles over there? Can we post articles over there? That would be neat. Amazing how many of these HA cases that certs Felix. Yes. Madness. What are you talking about? Okay, good. Steve's got it out there. Please give him a sub. Poor Steve. He gets absolutely hammered. Got a new channel. Please go and throw him a sub. You know what? We're going to go and do that right now on my channel. How's that? Can I do that here? Let's see. Where is that? Yay! Oh, I'm already subscribed. That was, see, this is how smart I am. Cadelia Border Patrol, I get their allotted pay per hour. Then, because of budget for meals and rooms, that's because it doesn't get used, end up cash bonus, not taxed. Well, you know, and how much is your family and your soul worth? If there are dirty ones out there, dirty ones are going to get it. They're going to get it. Anybody who does things for the love of this is going to get it. What is it? I think that word, they don't like that word on YouTube. Lucre. Lucre is a great word. I like the word lucre. Do you guys know the word lucre? Lucre. Money, especially when regarded as sordid or distasteful or gained in a dishonorable way. Filthy lucre. Oh, that is so true. It's got to be one of the best terms. Most candidates, NPCs, yes, NPCs. Did anyone hear the interview with Ortman's uncle on Global's podcast? I don't know. Did you? I did not, actually. I didn't. I should. But what was it? I don't remember. Prompted, edited. Because I know he was he for sure was verified to use his voice. Oh, but we just forgot to ask him questions months ago. Sorry about, but we all get old. We all get old. I'll get there one day too. Probably getting there. What time is court tomorrow? Is that Dartmouth court? Is that, are you speaking of Lisa's case? Is Lisa's case in court tomorrow? Not going to be there. Lisa, I'll put some money down that the real Lisa step forward, not appear in court. The real Lisa will never appear in court. In fact, I don't think we'll see her, period. They've kind of sewn out that already, which is really going to fail because all the videos I have already, which have shown quite clearly how they've done that strategically about, oh, yes, we're going to say that, abuse victims, they get battered around by the police, so they can't come to court. Yeah, well, Heard it here for a while. Heard it from McNeil. Heard it from the nice little tapes. And Saoirse, was that? Or not Saoirse, or it's not Saoirse. I wish I could say her name was Saoirse. Saoirse is an awesome Irish name, but no. Some meth head. Fentanyl. Fentanyl's her drug of choice. Not to be judgmental. Hell, I used to be an alcoholic, so I am an alcoholic, so I know. Just don't drink anymore, that's all. Keeps the government budget, keeps rolling it. Yep. That's how they survive. Is Concan your friend in Discord? She can pass on my number. Okay. Wonder if our RCMP Burnett. Oh, there we go. Burnett thinks of all this. He may be will to give inside scoop from his jail cell since he took a fall for a drug trafficking charge. Yeah. 10 years. He took a pretty, wasn't it 10 years he got? No. How long did he get? I forget how much. 10 keys. $750,000 tracking and arresting of your daughter. 4 detectives. Oh, easy. Yeah, this just wasting garbage on it. I mean, fraud, 9 months. Cops only found what I gave them. Oh, good. Working hard for those $100,000 plus salaries. Again, many of them justified, but listen, come on. You got to have this. You got to have a heart. You got to have conscience to get that. Can't reward people who have, I'm going to keep a secret. I'm going to toe the line because I'm tough. I need all my friends to take care of me. Fuck you, man. You're zero. RCMP will make you believe they are tracking people when they're really not. I think it's just the system. The whole system is kind of in the crapper, but yeah, they're lying, open mouth lies. Is that saying? You know, how do you tell if a child is lying when they open their mouth? RCMP. I should get the sense that someone pull out a doll, where I usually go for walks one under my front passenger seat. Shit is going, what? I don't understand that comment. Lucrative. Anyone tried brand new tube? No. I think I've got an account somewhere else. Better get that ready because I think this is going to get pooped. But it all goes way higher, but that's for really another day. Way higher than Google. Gotta look at I can. Lucra is French for lube. Did we even see a mugshot of Lisa? No, I don't think you're going to see those. Lisa. Blonde hair. Hats and blonde hair. Oh, with certain things in her hands, doing certain activities. Moving along. Sometimes some people know things, RCMP. Sometimes. They don't do it here. Global Podcast, Uncle Wortman basically says he was crazy as fuck. He was a crazy fuck. The lady neighbor who moved away says Wortman would park in her driveway and stare at her house. Oh, boo. Hot tub parties. How about Glenn? Glenn's got a little bit of a history too. Ooh, that's kind of sorted. But keep trotting them out. Keep it going. You keep pushing the bar. That just means that maybe more will keep bleeding out. That would be unfortunate. Would really be a lot of pie on people's faces. Burnett got 10 years. 10 years. Oh, he did. Okay. Wow. Ding. Recourt. I don't want to see Lisa. Nothing to see there. Just thought the opportunity just to show up and support. Oh, okay. Yeah. No, absolutely. Sorry. I misunderstood you, Linda. Totally misunderstood you. I don't. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I wonder what they would do. Here's a good way of thinking. What are they going to do if hordes of people suddenly showed up at court? Are they going to say you have to go home now because of COVID? You can't see justice done? That would be interesting. Interesting to see. I'd love to see lots of people show up for court tomorrow. Halifax? Let's see. Can anybody figure out what courtroom that is in? Docket? Halifax. You guys are way faster than me. Probably already know. Court docket. Dockets of the courts. Anybody know? Is it Halifax? I'm not getting a hit on Halifax. Oh, it's in Dartmouth? Okay, thank you. Let's go back here and see if we can find Dartmouth. Dartmouth. Why does it not have Dartmouth listed? Bloop, bloop, bloop. Who? Who is Lou Hill? Yes, I'm jealous. I don't need. What is it? Who? I can't read this. No. Oh, right. Oh, okay, right, of course, because there's no court. My bad. Sorry. I don't know who this Lou Hill is. I'm very sad. Yes, I need book deals because I didn't retire many years ago because I need lots. No, I don't need anything. Phone conferences, okay. But what I do need is a friend who's just feeling okay, and the friends I've made along the way. They're good, then I'm good. Agreed, it would be private online server. And who would, yeah, I best not engage in that debate at this point in time. I think that's possibly, I could see that as somebody leading me to something, trying to be divisive. No interest. Zero. Lou Hill, that sounds interesting. I don't know who the hell they are. Kendall is right. I know a few people have cases recently, and it was over the phone. Yes, I would think Kendall, of course, is... Okay, all right. I'm slow. Give me time. Oh, is that who Lou is? Oh, okay. And he is who? It's almost like most celebrities. I'm like, who? Am I supposed to know who Lou Hill is? Is he somebody important? When's the warrants coming out? I guess he got his airplay. I don't know. Maybe he'll wet the bed. When's the warrants coming out? Warrants won't be done for 2 years. Court case picked to win through guide court sentencing, other court dates just by video and phone. Not sure. Just starting to use Facebook as, oh, well, stay away would be my advice from the Facebook. But just my 2 cents, if I can close on that note. Well, I'll probably close on something else. But Facebook, disastrous. Do not go there. Do not go there. Do we need the article about RCMP and the Facebook and the friends and all that and accessing everybody's stuff? Not a good place to go. It's a lot of data mining. Always has been. LifeLog. DARPA. LifeLog. Facebook. Me. Facebook. Okay, so please do give a sub to Steve. Please consider some of the following questions that at least I posed. Perhaps I'm a bit more opinionated on my conclusions on them, but if you have any knowledge to share on any of that, please leave the comments below. I guess I could say those other things that you're supposed to say in YouTube, which is really helpful. It does help. I really appreciate all the views. Thank you very much to you, and thank you for tuning in, and thank you as always to the Discord and the good people here. I appreciate it. You give me the time. You entertain a silly guy with a Ford hat who apparently is jealous or something. Whoa. It does have some good info, Facebook too. Oh, yeah, yes. I'm not meaning to downplay. I'm sorry. I'm meaning the use of a profile, and I don't know. It's nice to be able to reach out and touch people, but sadly, it's a lot of people touching things that you don't want touching your things. Anyway, I do hope that, yeah, that sounded dirty. My apologies. I'm not that way. Okay, do hope that everybody has a fantastic night. Please say special prayers, as always, for all family members. I know the ones that I speak to, which is only a few, and I just give them a wide berth. I do hope that they will reach out and touch me by phone, of course. And they can get a hold of me, or anybody with tips can get a hold of me down below. And it's not me. It is very important to note that it is 380 people, 380 people. It is people who are not part of the Discord, who are very much working hard in the background, who just do not wish to participate in that capacity. And it is my fellow YouTubers, Steve LTT, Rage in the Cage, Just My Stupid Opinion, Tara, Oh Dear. We've got a really, really fantastic group of people who just want to see justice done and help help friends, right? So God bless you all. Have a good evening. Take good care, and thank you for giving me once again your time. I appreciate it.